Welcome back to my 100-day drawing challenge 2020. Today is day number 10 and the prompt is beach. So I know I said that I wasn't going to do any more redraws, but this drawing was definitely inspired by last year's drawing. I'm sorry. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. There are certain parts of this that I really prefer to last year, but there are also parts of it that I'm not as keen on, unfortunately, but I did my best. So basically last year for the prompt beach, I drew a character that was kind of like a personified version of a beach. Instead of just drawing a character on the beach, I decided to draw a character that was a beach. So she's kind of made of sand and she has water for hair, which I think is really cool. I definitely knew that this year I wanted to change the composition a little bit. In last year's drawing she's very kind of front and center and her pose is quite closed up, and then she has that water flowing either side of her. I actually still think that last year's drawing is fine. There are a couple of parts of it that I would definitely improve, like some of the anatomy, the hands and the face and that kind of thing, but I actually really like the composition and the way that the hair is flowing either side of her in last year's drawing. I just wanted to switch it up this year so that I'm not drawing exactly the same thing. So I decided to change the composition and her pose a little bit. So she's still sitting, she's still made of sand, she still has that water hair flowing behind her, but she's kind of sat facing one side rather than forward, and she's kind of leaning her head back to allow that water to flow down. Honestly, I don't think that the hair was coloured quite as well this year as it was last year. I think I just got lucky last year because I definitely didn't know what I was doing, but I still like this year's, I just don't think it's as good. I decided I wanted this kind of wave slash waterfall effect at the end of her hair, so it's kind of cascading down onto the floor and like hitting the floor, and that was the idea anyway, but I don't think it really turned out exactly to plan because you can't really tell that that's what's supposed to be happening. I definitely prefer last year's in that the hair just kind of flows behind the sand and goes out of view, and it's just this very satisfying shape, whereas this year it kind of abruptly ends and I'm not as keen on it. But I do definitely prefer the anatomy and the way that the character is drawn this year. I like her face a lot better. I also just love the fact that with this character I can just draw shells that are just kind of stuck in her torso. I think it's really cool. And I drew her little crab friend again this year. I love this little crab friend. I think he's so cute. I love that he looks so angry. He's like, I will cut you if you come near my little beach friend. I just love him. I think he's really cute. So yeah, overall, I'm a little bit conflicted about how I feel about this drawing. I don't love it. I think I've done better drawings than this, even in this challenge this year. So I guess I'm just having kind of an off day. It was bound to happen at some point. I do like it. Like I said, I like the way that the anatomy is this year, and I like her face better this year than last year's illustration, but I don't know, overall I think just because it's a concept that I've already drawn before, that's why I'm a little bit disappointed with how this one came out. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm conflicted. It's definitely not the worst thing I've ever drawn, and I think I would be more proud of this particular illustration if it had have been a unique idea this year rather than being kind of a redraw of last year. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this is an improvement on last year's drawing, or do you prefer the 2018 version? That's all for today. If you're interested, there's a link to the full challenge playlist on screen and in the description. Subscribe if you'd like to keep up with me completing this challenge, and I'll see you tomorrow for another prompt. Take care.